I truly believe that we really are, every one of us,
Yes.
are just one thought away
Yeah.
from the life of your dreams.
Yeah. Hi, welcome to Kelly, where we talk about life, your life and my life. And through Kelly, we hope to inspire. I have Carla Thomas on the show today. And Carla is a mindset performance coach.
Yeah, and a trainer. Yeah, absolutely.
How did you get into this? This is so interesting to me because I believe in what I do. A lot of it is that same kind of, it's working on people's mindsets and getting them in the mindset where they feel like they can perform.
Yeah, you know what? I think that mindset is the actual foundation for everything. I think when you can look at your old belief system and you can say, okay, this is or isn't working for me, and then you choose what is working for you and you focus on that, then you have an abundance mindset, you have a success mindset, you have a positive mindset, and then you can take your life to that whole next level. And I this is the universe. You know, God brought me to. I've always been all about choosing your thoughts and truly about. I'm a happy person. I'm just nothing gets me down for too long, right?
Right.
But I lost 2 friends to suicide in a 4-year period.
Wow.
So super successful, amazing, funny, charismatic, outgoing, incredible people who just lost their way. And I just fell on my knees and I said, you have to show me how to move from where I am to where you want me to be and how I can help others so this doesn't happen again.
Right.
And the mindset, it just came to me. It said, choose your thoughts.
Yeah, and
Now
you
is your
said earlier
time.
when we were talking about your friend, you said that, you're one thought away from a different life.
Yeah.
A different choice.
Yeah.
And that's so true because we get trapped in our reality of what we feel we have to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know what? I truly believe that we really are, every one of us,
Yes.
are just one thought away
Yeah.
from the life of your dreams.
Yeah.
So you can see the negative, but you don't have to stay there.
Mm-hmm.
You can focus on the positive and focus on what you want to create, because we are powerful creators.
Yes.
Like, we create our lives. Like, we draw in. I made a list of what I wanted in a man, and I met my husband 48 hours later.
Wow.
Right? So it's truly about the power of intention and about choosing what it is that you want to create in your life.
Well, and then that's funny that you say that about creating, because, and I've said this on a couple of the other shows, but one of the things that came to my mind a couple of years ago was that we are creators. We are literally, if we believe in God or whatever, we know that He's a creator and we are part of the divine, and we inherit that. And I think one of the reasons that the world is so depressed is because we're not creating, we're not using.
Well, I think we forget how to have fun.
Yeah.
I think we forget to have joy.
Right.
And I think we forget to look at your life in respect with I get to instead of I have to.
Right.
So if you're always thinking about I have to take the kids here, I have to do this job, I have to do that, then you're going to have this dread and this lack and this negative mentality. But if you are saying to yourself, man, how blessed is it that I have a car that allows me to take the children that I was blessed and given to where they need to go.
Yeah.
Not saying we don't all get stressed, because look, we all get on the Hot Mess Express every now and then, right? We get on it, we're tooting the horn, we're like, what the heck is going on, right? But I'm saying you don't have to stay there.
Right.
And I believe that you can create practices where you check in with your heart.
Yes.
And you check in with your spirit.
Yeah.
And I think that when we align our thoughts, feelings, and emotions with our heart, and then we take inspired action from that place, that's when a whole nother world opens up.
There's a video that's going around right now on Facebook, and it's this young kid, and he's talking about, what do you practice? And he said, do you practice peace? Do you practice whatever? And then he goes in, or do you practice anger? Because if you practice anger, you're going to get really good at being angry. And then you're going to end up getting angry at people. And he goes on to, do you practice worry? Because you're going to get really good at worrying.
Yeah.
And that hit me so hard. I was like, that is true. If you become a complainer, you're going to complain.
Well, complaining, first of all, changes your brain.
Right.
And
it's all about
and 98% of our thoughts are the same as yesterday. 80% of them are negative.
Yeah.
because that's what we're given.
Yeah.
So I do an actual cleanse of my social media feed. I do a cleanse of my emails. I don't allow certain things in our home. We're very protective of what my children watch. And we truly invite the positive and the happiness in. And I practice loving myself. I practice gratitude. I practice compassion.
Right.
And I practice showing up as my highest self.
And you're setting up that
Yeah,
environment. You're
yeah.
setting up the environment that you want to live. So you recently had a change in your life.
I did.
And it was, I think every parent's worst nightmare. So let's talk about that.
So it was the scariest phone call that you ever want to get. And so my daughter, my middle daughter, I received it. She was at Bible study, and she was leaving to go to the mall with her friend. And we were at the movies.
And she's 15.
She's 14. She'll be 15 in
okay.
April. And the other parent was driving. And on the ride there, they were hit head-on. She was in a head-on collision, and the impact was on her side. So she had severe concussion, collapsed lung, broken ribs, bruised pancreas, 2 tears in her intestines, and she had to have emotional, emergency surgery. And it was so emotional, to get that call, right? Like the phone rings, I look, it's my daughter. I pick up the phone, it's a stranger that says, is this Mrs. Thomas? And I'm like, yes. This is so-and-so. I'm here at the scene of the accident. I'm like, I'm sorry, what accident? And we rushed her to the hospital, and then she had to be moved from that hospital to emergency care at Children's Medical. And we spent only 7 days in the hospital. They told us it was going to be at least 2 weeks. She's a warrior, an absolute warrior. She has the mindset of an absolute goddess.
Look
she's
who she
just
comes from.
Oh, thank you. She is so brilliant. She was just like, okay, this is what we're doing here. She didn't take the pain medicine after we left. She said, I don't want to use that. I don't want to feel that. I want to feel it and be better and know when I can and can't do something. I mean, she was just her own champion. And to be in that situation, I had to truly evaluate what my self-care practices was and my ability to show up and be present, because what happened was I have huge routine. I have 3 non-negotiables, and I wasn't able to do any of them because it was intensive care. And my presence and my place was to be there and hold space for her so she could get well, and she knew she was surrounded by love and positivity.
That you say hold space for her.
Just hold space for her, right? And I think we hold space for the people we love, for the people that we train, for the clients that we have in our life. And when we come at it from a space of compassion and unconditional love, that space becomes so big that they can actually allow your love in.
Wow, that's gonna make me cry. That's beautiful.
Oh, I feel so strongly about it.
I mean, and beautiful from a mother's standpoint to say that. I needed to hold space for her.
Yeah, and I needed to hold space for my family, right?
Yeah.
For my other 2 kids who were trying to figure out how they could help their sister and how they could be present and all of those things. So it was an incredibly emotional time, but I honestly feel blessed because it's made us all closer as a family, and it's also allowed me to learn how I can serve my family more and serve others in a totally different way, right?
And it's crazy, through every experience that you go through, you adjust.
Yeah.
And another thing that I realized many years ago, I think sometimes we're always trying to get back to us. You know, we're like, I need to find me.
Yeah.
But what if you're changed?
Yeah.
Allow yourself to be changed.
You have to allow that change and that growth. And I believe that in order to get to the next level of your life, or to be your happiest, highest version of yourself, you have to open up that space and allow that in. Right? And for me, I check in with my heart and my mind 3 times a day. And I ask myself 3 grounding questions. What am I feeling? Why am I feeling it? And how can I grow from it?
Right.
And then
how can I grow from it?
From that space, then I move through my day. And in the morning, I check in and I say how I need to show up for that day. And what is my word for that day? Today, my word was joy and happiness. And I just have to bring that joy so that people can see it is possible to have 3 kids, 3 grandbabies, 5 businesses, and be extremely happy and love every minute of it.
Right.
Right.
And you didn't always, we're going to have to move along, but
Yeah.
you didn't always have that.
No, not a bit. No, it wasn't just a few short years ago that I was making $18,000 a year. I was a single mother. I'd been a single mother for 9 years when I met my husband, and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get past a certain income level. And I found Iyanla Van Zant's book one day. Yesterday I cried. And one day my soul opened up. I read both in like a 14-day period. I devoured it, right? And it changed my life because I had a choice. I could stay in the basement of my old mindset and my old belief system, or I could change it and choose to move beyond it. And I chose to move beyond it, and I walked into the office and I said, what do I need to do to get to the next level with this company? How can I be one of the highest paid leasing people, salesperson in your company? And she told me, and within 18 months, I had moved 3 different spots and was making 6 figures, and that's what brought me to Atlanta.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And you can do that with anything in your life.
You can.
Anything.
Oh my gosh.
And you don't, and when it's not working anymore, change.
Yeah. Just flip the switch.
Just
decide that you don't want to be in the dark and that you want to turn the light on.
Yeah.
And the light that you have is inside of you.
I love it. That's beautiful, beautiful gold nuggets. This is for you. You don't eat candy, so I got you some nuts.
I'm a little crazy nut.
You're a little
so
crazy
it does
nut,
work out.
So yeah, that's simulation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just to remind you, and I know that you know your gift in life.
Oh,
and
so are you.
I am attracted to people who are I mean, it's really a mission of mine right now is to make people realize that our environments are so important. In acting, your behavior has to do with your given circumstances in your environment. And
you're a product of the 5 people you surround yourself with
yes,
the most, right?
Yes.
And so I'm building a tribe of amazing people.
Yes.
My global movement, the Mindset Gangster Global Movement, is to build a tribe of people who lift and empower and inspire each other every day and help each other through the bumps, but don't stay there.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And
Yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah.
and if everybody starts moving like that, can you imagine what a high energy our planet could be on?
Listen, it is possible. I've been at events. My mentor, Brendan Bouchard, his events, High Performance Academy, it is a room of 2,000 people with that exact mindset. And you tell your deepest, darkest secrets, and you leave there so light and so ready to serve the world. And it's truly what I want to create here and bring into our, city and into this part of the world, because I go to the West Coast a lot, but I want to bring it here because I want people to feel what we feel.
And Michael Cole said, he was one of the guests that I had, he was the past guest, and he said, and right now we're creating it.
We are creating it.
Yeah.
There's a movement happening. There's an awakening. There's a light and a love and an air about all of us.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you have some advice to give to someone who is striving but not thriving, what would that be?
3 things. One, I would say learn to lead with compassion. So whatever you're doing, even if you're a stay-at-home mom, lead with your heart. 2 is to serve absolutely with your entire soul.
Yes.
So you don't have to have a lot of money to serve. If you're stuck in your stuff, you can create an absolute energetic change just by smiling. Smiling is the easiest, simplest way to serve the world and to change your mindset.
Yeah.
And lastly, I would say love unconditionally, without judgment in any way.
Yeah.
When you see someone on the street, you never know if you're that one person that says to them, hi that day, and you keep them from making a choice that would change their life forever.
Right. Wow. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
Guys, thank you for being here on Kelly, and wow, I'm amazed. My energy is high. I hope yours is. Leave a comment for Carla in the comment section below, and let her know that you're feeling energized. We hope this segment inspired and educated you.